Then you have another Spanish-speaking country, Spain, and say like Catalonia and Barcelona, where like I think I even have it on me now as my Cannabis Social Club card. I was showing someone down the park there earlier. I always carry my medical marijuana card from California and my Cannabis Social Club card from Catalonia, Barcelona, just to show people this is what I'm talking about, our different models that we talk about. And there it's similar. You have to show your passport. You have to give an address that is Spanish, so like your Airbnb if you're staying there, your hotel if you're staying there, whatever. You have to be referred from a friend. That's maybe one difference between the two. And they say they do that because there is a cap on the amount that the club can distribute in a year to make sure that it is a non-profit registered club, which it is, an association. It can, I don't know the limits, but there is a certain limit, and it's in and around, I think, 30 grams per person per month, which is people are obviously going to be doing more than that, but they kind of dilute that then with a tourist who might have only spent a weekend in an entire year, but his allowance over a year can then come kind of and make up for someone else's allowance, which might have gone higher. So I think the way they even play the statistics, like they're not tracking your consumption, but they're tracking the pool of consumption within everyone as a membership. And as long as they don't go over, I don't want to say the wrong figure, but let's say 1,000 grams a day or something that they can distribute, something like that. They can say with evidence, this is the data they have. They don't have more members than they are capped at, and that's their system. Would you say that system is good or bad? You have to present your passport, you have to get a photograph of you. It certainly feels a little bit invasive at the time, or a bit strange compared to, say, somewhere like Amsterdam. But then the benefits you get, like you go past that double door and it's like a artisan cafe, and the cannabis is so much better than Amsterdam. It's labelled, it's tested, and they have culture nights, they have DJ, and it's all it seems great. And I don't know, do I feel like my data is being used in a nefarious way? Well, it's not my government, first of all, so I don't feel like it's any bit like risky. Do you know, that's what I always feel between like Apple and Huawei. It's like, well, I'll go at Huawei because I don't really care what China are doing with my data. More the US though, the data center is probably up in Galway. Like, I don't want my data stored in my backyard. So I don't know what it's like to be a citizen in Uruguay trying to register on a system, and as well as that, I don't know whether the institutions in Uruguay are as strong as Spain. And with the European Union, that is a big help with GDPR and such. They don't have that, so I can understand where they're. It's not a black or white argument. I think there's so much to it. But I would say data in Europe at least has some regulations with GDPR, which Uruguay don't. So I would definitely be very reluctant as well if I was in Uruguay.
Yeah, I think the issue in Uruguay was the producers, like they just didn't do proper tenders maybe, or the quality that they're producing is just not there.
Really?
It's ditchweed, versus what you were getting in Spain. Like I know buddies who get stuff sent here from Spain pretty much.
Really,
and quality is just pretty outstanding.
I think it's very good. It's gotten I went there that year, and even a year later going to Cannabis, I think it was 2017, I was there with Tom Curran, and it just seemed it just got better and better and better, and like it attracted people from the US. You're talking to people, you're from California, you're from Canada, and they're like, we come to Spain for this event. This event is like worldwide. It's because they've taken profit out of their consumption and their production, and what's left there is enthusiasts. You see the owner of the club, you'll talk to the owner. When have you ever met the owner of a dispensary or a big pharmaceutical company selling your cannabis? You've never. Very rarely.
A good few Irish people after moving out to places like Tenerife and things
some
like
of the
that.
Islands, definitely.
I think there's one company called El Turps in Tenerife, and it's an Irish guy, Cork man actually, who set it up over there. Like, so there is people moving out. I'd love to do it, but I haven't found any kids there. I wouldn't.
I was looking at it. I guess it's hard to make a decision on where you want to live for, it's not a decision you need to make for the rest of your life, but it's certainly someone like yourself, you have kids, it's not a decision you can just go to an island, but you could do it for a few months, but it would never be a long-term decision unless you did that decision with your family and you all agreed that this was the best thing to do.
The club, when you arrived at it, you were saying going through the double doors, but just before you went through the double doors, would you know you were standing outside a cannabis club when you were standing outside it in Barcelona?
The card.
Even looking at the card
black,
there now,
sleek.
It's discreet, like
very discreet.
We're up there for the camera.
It just has my membership number, no name associated with it,
and feel God.
Some very religious connotations and innuendos there. Yeah, like the feel good, and then the O is taken off to feel God.
And that's it.
So if anybody wants a referral to a cannabis social club in Spain, just hit me up, and I'll just send you a photograph of this, and then you can go to them and you can say, "Oh, I'm an amigo of this guy." I've been doing it really only for a couple of people, to be quite honest. Like there was someone from where were they from? Somewhere in Eastern Europe, and he got on to me about a friend of his who was like really, really sick and they needed access. And I was like, basically, there's nowhere better than Spain, actually, as it turns out. And once you get to the door, here's the address. And yes, it does not look. You will not think that this is a cannabis social club when you're on the outside. You're on one of the main streets in Barcelona. There is no smell. There's no shops. Well, like it's shop fronts around, kind of, and like residential up high. So it's one of these kind of big promenade streets where there might be a road in the middle and then big pedestrian walks sides on either side. But it's interesting the way Barcelona is like constructed, like the architecture. It's all very, very similar and structured. It's not like roads like Cork. You're not going, up a hill and turning around for ages and then going down a hill. Like no, this very straight and very similar and symmetrical. And you wouldn't even notice that this is out of place. Like it's not out of place. It looks the same. But what it is. You'll know it on the Google Maps now. They are listed on Google Maps as an official business, which was nice one of the earlier times that I went there. I don't think it was there the first time, but since then, and it has pictures, so it's down as like a cafe pretty much.
Yeah. And what was it called again?
This one in Barcelona is called HQ.
Oh, it was just called HQ.
HQ. But I've been to other ones like there's loads of different ones.
Is that the Greenhouse Seeds guys one? Is that them?
I think they have another one.
Okay.
And then there's Strain Hunters have another one.
Strain Hunters, yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I believe. Yeah. No, I was there. They were really good. They were like we went over there on a research trip.
I knew you were there. That's why I asked. Was that then?
This was from that time, and it was funny. But the Strain Hunters, they were like, "Well, no, like you're a tourist. We're not allowing you in. This is not the regulation is regulation." And I thought I was like, great. Like these guys are actually sticking to it. But they did leave us in the back door in the end, and they said, "Look, we won't sell you weed, but we'll gift you." And they gave us like a bowl of weed because like we were over there to research, and some people wanted to consume. So it was. And anyway, getting into that place, there was like pictures of all the like Howard Marks and people that they had met over the years, and some of their cups and trophies. Like they had taken pride in every centimeter of this like establishment. Everything was like catered out, and it's such character and such like it was very nice. I think that was like my favorite like one to go to in terms of like the look of it was very nice. But the HQ, it's very like it's like a cafe. You can go there if you want to just put headphones on and work. You can do that. In the evening, if you wanted to go there and socialise, they have like a DJ night, or they'll have like a dabs night where like they might show you how to do certain extracts, and that's very much a cultural kind of aspect to it. And generally, they do serve beer at these places. Like you can get. So what you do is you press the button for the intercom. The door will open. This is HQ anyway. You'll go to a kind of reception area, but I think they all have this reception area by law. And there's still no smell, nothing. They'll have a desk, and there's a computer, and there'll be two staff members with a webcam, computer, and in case there's a lot of people, there's generally not really that many people in the reception area. But some people might go past you to get in. They give their membership number, they get straight in. But you have a few minutes to register to make sure that everything's above board. There's some requirements they have, like your age, for example. That's one of them. That one is, I guess, very important because it's also serving alcohol. And yeah, you pay money, you top up your card in advance, so there is actually no transaction that takes place. They're not selling you weed. They're not selling you weed or alcohol. They're selling you a membership, and you can decide if you want to level up your membership by topping up. I mean, it's essentially like saying there's like Disney tokens or something that you're just buying, I guess, kind of like that. You're buying these but it's digital, and you have your number, and then you just say once you top up your cash on the entrance, you walk in the door, and you can go to the bar, you can order your food, your beer, give your membership number. He'll tell you how much you have left over. He'll put that through. There you go. You go sit down. You go to down the steps, and then there's a booth, menu, and you have categorized into your indicas, your sativas, but not only that, your oils, your extracts, and it says the percentages of the CBD and THC. I don't think it always had the percentages of CBD, but it does now. In fact, I'm sure you could probably get a full terpene profile if you wanted, and a cannabinoid profile if you wanted. The menu is accessible to show the two things that most people are looking to find. It's either CBD high or THC high or somewhere in the middle. You give your membership number. You can take a look at it first if you want, but you can talk about it. They're always very on point with their answers and very focused, and they just know their stuff. And then there it is. You got it. You can decide. Then there's like vaporizers you can use, dab rigs. You can smoke. You can buy rolling papers. Rolling papers are provided. So all the paraphernalia is all provided for free. And then you can buy the merchandise if you want. So I bought a T-shirt and stuff. With my membership card, I had to get some T-shirts and some lighters and stuff. Really good branding. And I just thought it was really. One of them was it's not a T-shirt. I should have worn it. It's like dealers, and it's crossed out and it's leaders. And you really understand it when you meet the owner. You're like, yeah, this guy, like, he's a leader. Like, this guy's not a criminal. He's a leader entrepreneur. That's what he is.